Hello, this is Secret Assassin, and I'll be what we're doing is some tips on working with acrylic or most likely any kind of plastics. I'm not expert on this thing. Please feel free to correct me in the comments. Give me some ideas or something if I'm not correct on some of the things I say in this video. So basically, if you are working with acrylic, like if you're building like a case mod or something, then when you do pick out your acrylic, be sure to pick out the right kind. So here's the thing. Okay, so right now this is a 2.220 inch. It's around a fourth of an inch, 18 by 24 sheet of acrylic. This cost me like 15 bucks. This is acrylic. This is 20 times stronger than glass, easy to cut, and 10 years limited warranty against yellowing. So, as you can see, it's by the same company. Then this is a different kind of acrylic. I got this from Home Depot. You can get this from Lowe's. I got this from Lowe's. This is a 0.80 inch, 18 by 24, high impact acrylic. This is 100 times stronger than glass. This is 20 times stronger. This is 100. It's easy to cut. So, as you can see, if you do want to use acrylic and if you can get your hands on some high impact, definitely get that one. And this is my favorite one of all. I got this from Home Depot. This is polycarbonate by Lexan. I have never seen polycarbonate sold at Lowe's, but I have seen polycarbonate sold at Home Depot. So I got this for about 7 or 8 bucks. 0.93 inch, 18 by 24 polycarbonate sheet. And the best part about this is 250 times stronger than glass. This is lightweight and this is shatter resistant. And yes, shatter resistant, it does make a difference because in acrylic like this, unless you have cast acrylic, it's going to shatter if you use a bigger drill bit. Let's say you're trying to drill a 3/8 inch hole and you directly go there, just hammer, and this thing is just going to shatter. So you got to be really careful with acrylic. So that's why I do like polycarbonate. And it's the same thing that the windshields are made out of in your car. And this is clear, so it's the same as acrylic. This is just polycarbonate. Now, some of the things is when drilling holes, try not to use really powerful drill. By really powerful, I mean like the ones that are corded, the ones that have so much power. Try to use a lightweight drill bit, something like this. So see, this is a Makita. It's really tiny, and also use it on a medium speed, slow to medium, because if you go too fast, it's going to start melting the acrylic, and that's just not going to work. Or polycarbonate, whatever you're, or any kind of plastic. So remember that. The main reason is the overpowered drills are gonna be they're just gonna have too much power in them, and since they're kind of heavier than these, they're just gonna like go right through and maybe even shatter the acrylic. I would recommend using a drill press if you have one, a mini drill press or a drill guide of some sort, if you are drilling into really thick acrylic. Or just around this much. You don't need a drill guide for this or a drill press, but it would be nice to have one. So in a little bit I'm going to show you the other stuff that you should use with acrylic. So what I was saying about the drills is do not try to avoid using something like this. So you're too far, well, this should be fine. It's a battery drill. And if you can, use something like a drill press. Okay, and then the next part is on marking. It's going to be kind of hard to mark, so use blue or green Scotch or any other brand masking tape or painter's tape. It's going to have no residue and leftover, and use something like a Sharpie or a pencil to mark your edges. And if you want to make long cuts or cuts of any kind in acrylic, and if you're not trying to drill a hole, if you don't have a table saw, then use something like this. This is a plastic cutter. Be really careful for the first few times when you do this. You are going to have to do this for a long time. keep a ruler and then slightly go over, because if you do press it hard on the first time, the plastic is going to have a tendency to move a little bit. So it's going to be like this. It's going straight and then move and then going straight. Then once that scorch mark is there, every time you do that, it keeps going there. So do it lightly for a couple of times first. Then when you know you have got a good little score, then just then press harder each time and just try to score all the way. And then what you do is you would take some a flat corner, you'd put your hand there and just snap it off. So you can find this at Home Depot or Lowe's for $3 or $4. So definitely use that, or you can just use a table saw. Okay, and for the table saw, try to use something like this. This is a 10-inch 200 tooth OSB/plywood blade. As you can see, recommended materials: plastics, veneer, and recommended tools is for miter saw and table saw. And the thing is, you can use this backwards, so the saw would go this way and the teeth would be against the saw. Or you can just do it backwards because it's acrylic, and if you go backwards before, it's still going to cut. I actually did try cutting rip cuts on acrylic, and it works really, really good. Except if you're on a table saw, try to avoid being right on the direct line of acrylic, because the melting plastic is going to fly, and if it hits you, it's going to kind of burn. And if it's thicker acrylic, then it's going to burn more because it's going to get more hotter. Now let's say you're trying to make a hole, like a 3/4 inch hole with a drill bit, with a spade bit. Then use something like this. This is meant for wood, but this will also work for plastic, but avoid using something like this. As you can see, the size doesn't really make a difference. Just avoid using this. This is a Bosch spade bit. As you can see, this thing is made for wood, and this thing is really aggressive. As you can see, it has a screwed tip, and these points on this are so very aggressive. And if you do use something like this on acrylic, it's just going to shatter and just maybe even hit you in the eye. And always wear safety goggles. Or if you can, wear something like a face mask that's over there. So avoid using something like this, because this thing is too aggressive. So use something like this. And when you are making holes with a spade bit or a drill bit, try to keep some water near. And before you do drill, just dab the acrylic with a little bit of water. And when you're drilling, if you're drilling with a drill press, let's say you're drilling into the acrylic, so let's say you're drilling into it, so you drill, then you lift up, drill again, you keep doing that so it doesn't heat up. And also put a little bit of water on the drill bit so it stays kind of cool when you are drilling into acrylic. For the gluing portion of acrylic, what you can do is, there are two ways to join acrylic. First thing is by screws and a tap. You would need machine screws and a tap set. The most common for, or the one I think that's common for computer cases is 632 or 832, and 832 is 1/8 and 632 is 7/64. Get some machine screws. And just get a tap, make the threads, and then just do it. And if you are using something like this, IPS Weld-On, this is a solvent cylinder for joining acrylic. You can order this online. These things, what they do is they bond the material, they bond the molecules of the plastic so it becomes one piece. A couple of things keep in mind when you are buying this. So it's just for joining acrylic and other plastics. Since I am working with acrylic and polycarbonate, you need to make sure that your IPS Weld-On number actually does bond polycarbonate and acrylic together, because some of them only bond acrylic to acrylic and polycarbonate to polycarbonate. So keep that in mind when you're using something like this. And if you do not use a lot of that, if you don't have a lot of that, then if you want, if you are doing something that's flat, like let's say you're connecting this piece on that piece, except the only difference is it's not like a 90-degree edge, so it's not like, you know, okay, so it's not like this, but it's like this. And if you want to use something, if you don't have a lot of that, then a good one would be this one. Contact adhesive permanently seals and bonds and repairs. This is the Welder Professional, and this would work with aluminum, PVC pipe. So if you want to put like metal and acrylic together, like flat, and you know you have a lot of area, then just use something like this. This is really good. It's clear, or you can just use the IPS roll-on, but it's kind of dangerous working with that, because if you do get it in your hands, it's just a real mess to actually get it out. And especially if you touch your eyes, you do have to like get a doctor. It's really serious, so be careful if you are working with IPS roll-on. And then finally, the drill bits. Okay, so you probably should correct me on this. You can see this is my first, this is the drill bits that I have, the DeWalt. Now, as you can see, the design on top is a little bit different here. So what I did was, for acrylic or plastics, you generally have a drill bit that has a 90-degree split point. This is like 135-degree split point up there. But since I did not feel like waiting a week for the order to ship from Amazon, and the drill bit cost like, I think like $10, so I went out and from Fred Meyer's I just bought a dedicated plastic